Good morning and a warm welcome to your show, Sunny Mornings in Boston. We're the daily podcast that gets you started on the right foot and always with a positive vibe. I'm your host, Melissa, and it's Thursday, January 25th. You'll be interested to know, tonight is Burns Night. It's a time to enjoy Scottish traditions and celebrate the renowned poet Robert Burns with a classic combination of haggis, neeps, tatties, some reciting of poetry, and maybe even a warming dram. It's also an opportunity to celebrate Scotland's enduring legacy of creativity. Robert Burns wrote the well-known poem Auld Lang Syne, which everyone sings at midnight on New Year's Eve. Now let's check out the weather in the Boston area. This morning it's a little rainy and feels like 41 degrees, with 10-mile-per-hour wind. Tonight, the sun will set at 4:48 p.m., and it will rise again tomorrow at 7:03 a.m. It looks like we're in for some rain, mainly before 7 a.m., and it will be cloudy with a high near 50 and west wind, 5 to 9 mile per hour. Chance of precipitation is 30%. New rain amounts of less than 1/10 of an inch. Tonight, rain mainly after 8 p.m. and a low around 39 with east wind, 5 to 9 mile per hour. Chance of precipitation is 90%. The first high tide Thursday will be at 10 a.m. with a low tide around 4:30 p.m. The nearshore buoy at Cape Cod Bay reads 40 degrees for the water temperature. Looking ahead in the weather, we'll see rainy conditions beginning Thursday afternoon, continuing through Sunday with intermittent fog and mostly cloudy skies. Temperatures will hover in the mid-40s, dipping to the mid-20s on Sunday night with a chance of rain and snow. Bonjour, food enthusiasts. This podcast is brought to you by Versailles Cafe and Pastries in Encinitas. Nestled on El Camino Real South, just north of Encinitas Boulevard, this cafe is a haven for culinary delights. Indulge in their amazing Eggs Benedict or their gluten-free crepes. You can grab a panini for lunch or just breeze on through to get your morning coffee. They are open every day from 8 to 5. So stop on by and don't forget to tell them Sunny Morning sent you. In top news, in a groundbreaking development, gene therapy has enabled several children with inherited deafness to hear. A recent study in China documented significant hearing restoration in 5 out of 6 treated children. Similarly, the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia reported improved hearing in an 11-year-old patient. These therapies currently target a specific type of deafness caused by mutations in a gene responsible for the otofrelin protein in the inner ear. The procedure involves a one-time delivery of a functional copy of this gene. Most patients experienced a substantial improvement, with hearing levels reaching around 60 to 70% of normal, without major side effects. While these results are promising, they also raise ethical considerations, especially within the deaf community. As research progresses, this gene therapy could potentially revolutionize treatment for various types of genetic deafness, impacting millions of children worldwide. Now, let's talk pets and science. Pets, like cats, dogs, and even parrots, are at risk of catching illnesses from their owners, a phenomenon known as reverse zoonosis, according to a new study. This discovery highlights that diseases are not just transmitted from animals to humans, but can also be passed the other way. Examples include swine flu, COVID-19, and tuberculosis. Reverse zoonosis is particularly concerning because of the frequent mutation of RNA viruses, like flu and COVID-19, enabling them to jump species more easily. The study emphasizes the importance of veterinarians considering human illnesses as potential sources for animal sickness. It also raises concerns about the role of animals in amplifying epidemics, such as pigs being able to mix human and bird flu, potentially leading to new pandemics. The authors suggest avoiding close contact with pets when ill, especially with flu or COVID-19, to prevent the spread of diseases. In business news, Netflix's shares soared over 10% following a strong fourth-quarter earnings report. The company's revenue reached $8.83 billion, exceeding the estimate. This surge is attributed to initiatives like a crackdown on password sharing, an ad-supported tier, and recent price hikes. The company anticipates a first-quarter earnings per share of $4.49, surpassing expectations of $4.09. While Wall Street responded positively, with analysts raising price targets, some caution about Netflix's valuation. Concerns include the sustainability of subscriber growth as the password-sharing crackdown concludes. MoffettNathanson and Deutsche Bank analysts, while recognizing Netflix's industry dominance, advise caution, suggesting the current growth may not be long-term. This caution reflects the potential market impact of increased subscription prices and the nearing completion of password-sharing interventions. Crypto is still having a rough week. Bitcoin has dipped to $39,800, Ethereum is at $2,200, and Solana is $87. Now on to sports. Jim Harbaugh is set to leave Michigan for a new challenge as the head coach of the Los Angeles Chargers. This move comes after a successful 9-year stint with Michigan, highlighted by a national championship this year. Harbaugh's coaching prowess was previously demonstrated with the San Francisco 49ers, leading them to a Super Bowl appearance. His connection to the Chargers dates back to his playing days in 1999 and 2000. The Chargers, seeking rejuvenation after a 5-12 season under Brandon Staley, look to Harbaugh to leverage his experience and build around quarterback Justin Herbert. Meanwhile, Michigan faces the task of finding a successor with offensive coordinator Sharon Moore, a familiar face and interim head coach during Harbaugh's suspension last year, emerging as a top candidate. Harbaugh's departure marks the end of an era for Michigan and the beginning of a promising chapter for the Chargers. Tonight, the Celtics are on the road to play the Heat. And in the NHL last night, the Bruins lost another home game, this time to the Hurricanes, 3-2. Moving on to a more local vibe. In our community spotlight on health and wellness, we are working with a national Pilates studio to bring you some free classes, so listen up. Check out Club Pilates, with several locations in the Boston area. Pilates presents a comprehensive wellness approach, cultivating strength, reducing tension, and elevating mental well-being. Scientific research affirms its benefits. So now you can check out Club Pilates for a free class. With locations in Canton, Wellesley, Hingham, Brookline, and Framingham, just be sure to tell them Sunny Morning sent you by. And now, back to the show. In local news, Boston is celebrating a significant achievement in the film industry with 2 locally connected movies, American Fiction and The Holdovers, receiving Best Picture nominations at this year's Academy Awards. Both films were shot entirely in Massachusetts and feature Boston-bred actors. American Fiction, centered on a Boston novelist, and The Holdovers, about a prep school teacher and his students, showcase local talent and locations. In addition to Best Picture, American Fiction received nominations for Best Adapted Screenplay and Best Original Score, with actors Jeffrey Wright and Sterling K. Brown nominated for their roles. The Holdovers also garnered nods for Best Original Screenplay and Best Editing, with Paul Giamatti and Davine Joy Randolph up for acting awards. These films join a competitive Best Picture field, emphasizing Boston's influence in contemporary cinema. And in entertainment news, actor Mark Ruffalo's life took a dramatic turn in the early 2000s when a prophetic dream led to the discovery of a brain tumor. Ruffalo, known for his role as Bruce Banner, had a dream so vivid and clear that it prompted him to consult an on-set doctor while filming The Last Castle. His dream's message was straightforward. You have a brain tumor and you have to deal with it immediately. The subsequent CAT scan revealed a mass the size of a golf ball. The tumor, a vestibular schwannoma, was benign, but its removal caused temporary facial paralysis and hearing loss, with permanent hearing loss in one ear. Interestingly, Ruffalo chose to delay telling his wife about the diagnosis until after the birth of their first son. His wife's emotional reaction underscored the gravity of the situation. Ruffalo's experience is a remarkable testament to the unexpected ways life can unfold and the impact of intuitive moments on our health decisions. Well, alrighty folks, it's time for the quote of the day. And today's quote comes from Robert Burns. And aside from his New Year's Eve song, he also said,
"Your powers wha mak mankind your care, and dish them out their bill of fare. Old Scotland wants none of your skinking ware that jops in luggies. But if you wish her grateful prayer, gie her a haggis."
And that's a wrap for this morning. Remember to stay tuned tomorrow for more news and updates. Have an amazing day, my good friends.